with coverage you can count on. This is the Erie News NOWCAST.
Good morning. Thanks for jumping on Facebook Live for a mid-morning check of some of the stories we are following here at Erie News Now. I'm Mark Soliday. We begin with days after dozens of union workers at the Erie Strayer Company went on strike. And we're now seeing some major work stoppages all across the country. Some 10,000 union auto workers, United Auto Workers union members, they're working for farm equipment maker John Deere. They walked off the job today. That's after those union members overwhelmingly rejected a 6-year contract offer a few weeks ago. But it's one of just several strikes happening in spots all across the country this morning. Meantime, there's a strike planned for next week, one that could have a big impact on the entertainment industry. The International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, they say its 60,000 members, they're set to walk out on Monday if they can't reach a deal with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers. Those two sides have been bargaining for a while now. If the union does go on strike, they say most Hollywood productions would come to a stop. President Biden sending out a warning to some companies this morning, saying that he'll call them out if they fail to, as he puts it, step up to ease America's supply chain issues ahead of the holiday season. On Wednesday, the president announced that the port of Los Angeles, California, one that had recently suffered a record backlog, is going to go 24/7, follow the example of the Long Beach port out in California. About 40% of all the shipping containers imported into America come through those two ports. They're among the busiest in the whole world. But those spots typically operate just 5 days a week, closed down at nights and on weekends. This change will see the Port of Los Angeles add more than 60 hours to its work week. Well, this morning, Erie News Now's Elena Jonathan talks to a local supply chain expert about how long this sort of trouble could last.
Trade policies, a labor shortage, and the pandemic have impacted the global supply chain. So much so, President Joe Biden announced 2 of America's biggest ports will operate around the clock to keep up with demand.
This is a big first step in speeding up the movement of materials and goods through our supply chain.
This move, a positive one, according to one supply chain management professor from Penn State Barron. But this won't speed up delays we've been seeing across every industry.
When the demand is more than the supply, then we'll see the rising prices and product shortage.
Prices on things like groceries, goods, and gas have been felt in most Americans' wallets. Dr. Sakar explains these price increases are because of cargo ship delays countries around the world are facing.
Typically, it takes around 40 days to move the products from Asian countries to US. And nowadays, it is taking sometimes between 80 and 100 days.
Almost double the time for products to get to their destination. Not good news for consumers, especially those looking to get a head start on their holiday shopping. Dr. Sakar says expect these delays to last into the holiday season.
I think that still we will see some crisis, product shortage issues ongoing for the holiday season.
That's Arlena Jonathan reporting. An FDA panel is holding a big meeting at this hour dealing with a number of COVID-19 vaccine-related questions. That Food and Drug Administration safety panel meeting this morning to debate booster shots for people who got vaccinated with the Moderna and Johnson & Johnson versions of that COVID vaccine. Today's meeting could start to clear the way for those booster shots for those groups. Right now, only at-risk people who got the Pfizer vaccine are eligible for that booster shot. The FDA today also hearing about the effectiveness of mixing vaccine versions. That would theoretically boost immunity, and it could lead to a change in the way Americans get those booster shots down the road. And Pennsylvania's hit a vaccine milestone this morning. State officials say 70% of people across the Keystone State are now fully vaccinated. It comes later in the year, certainly, than state officials had hoped for. Governor Wolf had set this past June as his target date for hitting that 70% threshold that a lot of health experts had said what we need to get to stamp out some of those bigger virus outbreaks. Health department leaders in Harrisburg say the vaccine increase Pennsylvania's seen over the past month could be the result of their efforts to address hesitancy as well as that Delta variant, convincing some people to just go out and get the shots. Over in Warren County, leaders have rejected a plan to try and boost the vaccine rates there with a public awareness campaign. It was a plan pushed by Warren County Commissioner Jeff Eggleston. He wanted Warren County to spend some of the federal tax dollars it's getting through that American Rescue Plan on a public awareness campaign aimed at boosting Warren County's vaccination rate. According to a report in the Warren Times Observer, those commissioners rejected that idea. One of the commissioners in Warren County, Ben Cafferlin, voted no, saying he just didn't think the plan would be effective. That measure would have cost an estimated $22,000. And there's a beach walk happening this morning down at Presque Isle, all about keeping the park's beaches in top shape for the summer. This one involves Presque Isle State Park leaders as well as members of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. They actually walk the beaches of the peninsula twice a year, once in the spring and then again here in the fall. It's all to assess any weather-related damage to the peninsula and plan that annual sand replenishment effort. Now, after the spring beach walk earlier this year, officials said the peninsula's beaches were benefiting from the extra icy winter we saw last season, along with a dry spring and lower Lake Erie water levels. A little cool, but not too bad for a walk on the beach this morning.
Certainly not too bad at all. Temperatures right now, we are generally in the 60s out there. We're looking pretty quiet for today, other than maybe a very stray shower out there. You can see temperature-wise working our way through the 50s for a lot of those inland spots. It was a little chilly back into Bradford this morning. And you can see lower 60s in the Meadville as well as Andover. We've got Zubu tonight, the second night of this festive time of a year as the kids are heading on out in their best costumes and getting some treats. No tricks down at the Erie Zoo. Temperatures in the 70s as we continue on even into the evening hours. Looking ahead to this weekend, a big pattern change, 66 degrees on Saturday. Temperatures will actually be really coming on down for the day on Saturday, so we'll actually be in the lower 60s, maybe just right around 60 for much of the day on Saturday, as we will certainly have those rain showers out there. Sunday, just about 60 degrees, a bit on the breezy side. That's another thing you'll notice, so it is certainly going to be quite chilly out there compared to what we have been dealing with as of late, but of course that's pushing us into the weekend. You can see Futurecast for us today. We're getting some sunshine in there, maybe just a stray shower out and about. During the evening and overnight hours, we'll start to see a little bit more of that cloud cover. And then on a Friday, we'll have some scattered showers out there, expecting it to become a little bit more widespread Friday nights. And then into your Saturday, we're looking at some decent soakers out there, maybe even some flooding problems in some of those poor drainage areas and maybe some water trying to back up into your basement. So we definitely have our eyes on that soggy forecast for your weekend. Temperatures today into the middle and upper 70s with that partly sunny sky into the afternoon. Crawford County doing middle 70s as well. And you can see back there into Warren County, we'll have that partly a sunny sky today. We started off with some areas of pretty dense fog that is beginning to lift. That is really starting to lift for a lot of the area. But we'll look ahead beyond just that weekend forecast with the 7-day in a moment.
All right, thank you, David. Well, actor William Shatner, best known for his role as Captain Kirk on the old Star Trek TV series. Deal with the TJ Hooker fans. Yeah, Shatner's feet, they are back on firm ground this morning. That's after he and 3 passengers went for a real-life ride into space on Wednesday. Came more than 50 years after Shatner took on that science fiction show role. He boldly traveled to the edge of space on Wednesday. The 90-year-old actor was on board that rocket and capsule developed by Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin company, that space exploration effort. His joyride makes Shatner the oldest person to reach space. That flight lasted roughly 10 minutes. A very tight window for Shatner, Captain Kirk, to meet a female alien up there in space, David, what he's so often want to do on the old Star Trek show.
Yeah, absolutely. Boy, that must have been the experience of a lifetime to, be in space for your acting career and then actually go into space as a real-life human being on this planet. Temperatures over the next couple of days, we got middle 70s as we go Thursday and then into Friday. Some scattered showers out there during the day. We see some soakers on Saturday, and you can see I've adjusted temperatures just a little bit for your Saturday. Basically, the high and the low right around the same temperature, just because temperatures will continue to fall as we go through at least part of the morning on Saturday before they steady out. On a Sunday, we've got temperatures around about 60. A few more of those scattered showers. Lake effect showers are actually a fairly good likelihood as we contend with that westerly breeze. And then we get into next week, sunnier days and a little bit warmer with highs in the middle and upper 60s.
Of course, we do this NOWCAST thing just about the same time each and every morning, so we'll see you back here tomorrow for that. We'll also see you at 5 a.m. for the Friday edition of Erie News Now Sunrise. I'm Mark Soliday.